And we are back. Welcome to my predictions for the Women's World Cup quarterfinals being played tomorrow morning. After getting 7 out of 8 of the last 16 games correct, things now get a little bit harder because we really do have the best teams in the competition coming together over the next 2 days. And we've got 2 very, very, very tough games to call today. So before we get into it, if you've been enjoying this series, please do make sure to drop a like on this video and subscribe to the channel if you are new around here. We have been doing these women's predictions all throughout the World Cup, and we've got a few more videos left to come. And Premier League predictions will be returning tomorrow morning as well. So make sure you are subscribed so you don't miss out on any of the future predictions. As for today, as I said, we've got 2 games to talk about in tomorrow morning. Let's just get straight into them. And we start off with 2 teams that were actually knocked out in the quarterfinals of the Women's Euros last summer. So one of them is going to go further this time around. It is Spain up against the Netherlands. And like I say, these are just really, really tough games to call. The Spanish, who bounced back brilliantly from their 4-0 humiliation from Japan, came back and won fantastically themselves in the last 16. And they come up against a Dutch side that have performed seemingly better game on game. So it really, really is a tough one to call. And bizarrely, despite how high profile both these teams are in the women's game, obviously within Europe, these 2 sides haven't played since 2019. So you can't really judge anything based off of that either. It's just going to come down to who I think has been the better team across the course of the tournament and who I think on paper has the better team overall. And I'm just swaying it in favour of Spain, and I'm going to go for 2-1. I'd be very surprised if both teams don't score in this one. I think it could very well go to extra time, potentially all the way to penalties. But as I see things right now, I just think Spain will have a little bit too much for that Dutch side. As for the other game, it is everyone's sort of second favourite team of this tournament, Japan, who have just gone from strength to strength every single game they've played so far with some fantastic results and some fantastic performances. They come up against a Sweden team that themselves have performed very, very well, and in the last round knocked out America, stopping them from winning 3 in a row. So, again, really, really tough to call. I just think the way that both of these teams play, they both set out relatively defensively against good opposition and then try and hit teams on counterattacks. That's why the Sweden game against America was 0-0 and went all the way to penalties, because they were able to hold America at bay. America probably should have won that game. They had enough chances to win it, but the Swedes held out. So I'm very, very tempted to go 0-0 again. I just don't think Japan can be stopped. And what I mean by that is I just think there is no scenario where Sweden do keep Japan out. And I just think Japan edge it 1-0. I still personally think Sweden should be considered the favourites for this one. I know a lot of people are saying that Japan are the favourites for this one, but I just think the way Sweden have played, they've obviously got some big results in the group stages, and to knock off the back-to-back World Cup winners, I think they should be considered the favourites for this, but I just think Japan are going to edge it. I think it's going to be a very, very close game. Again, would not surprise me to see this one go all the way to extra time and penalties as well, but I'm going to go for Japan. Both teams from Group C getting all the way to the semi-final, where they will meet once again for the potential chance of revenge for Spain, in my opinion, tomorrow. But let me know in the comments your thoughts on these 2 matches. Who do you think is going to progress to the semi-finals? Thank you very much for watching. I'll be back, as I said, tomorrow morning with my Premier League predictions, and then tomorrow evening at the same time for the other 2 quarter-final predictions, which will, of course, include England. I'll see you then.